Hi, my name is Robert. Please read the comments in the About section of this video. It has valuable information and updates. My YouTube channel has a disclaimer video that I encourage you to watch. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. This is one of the vehicles under my care. It is a 1999 Volvo V70R series. I am under the belief that Volvos are some of the most amazing cars, especially built in the 90s. Man, you can have a lot of stuff wrong with these cars and they just keep running. And in this video, I'm going to show you some spark plugs that I pulled out of this car that I was just flabbergasted that the engine wasn't destroyed and the car still ran. Let's get started. I'm getting ready to fire up the 99 V70R. It's got issues. I think I'm end up pulling the cylinder head. I think the exhaust is clogged on it. The cat, it's going through oil like crazy because valve stem seals are just messed up. It's got a good oil level filled to the top. That's good. I just dropped a fresh battery in here. We're going to see if this thing starts. Probably do a compression test, see if it has a burnt valve, and go from there. This car probably hadn't been started in 6 months. So I'm sure it doesn't have any fuel pressure on the rail. So let's see if we can prime that. Bump the starter 3 times will normally prime the fuel system. All right, let's see if it starts. Almost. And she starts. I don't know if that's a misfire or not. Doesn't seem like it. I'm gonna let it idle for a few minutes here and then probably scan it. I don't know if this matters, but it's got a max RPM of 4,000. I got it all the way to the floor. About to hit Byron's V70R with a compression test, warming the engine up a little bit. About to pull the plugs, disconnect the fuel and spark from this car by pulling that fuse out of there and do this compression test. So let me get this cover off. I'm gonna pull the fuse, shut off ignition and fuel. Now I'm gonna pull the covers and the coils and do this compression test. Let me get these spark plugs out. Got a mess up here, oil down in the cylinders, all kind of stuff. Well, by the looks of these plugs, I'm going to assume this vehicle needs an engine. You got a plug missing the tip there. Don't know how that could happen. And all this sludge on top of it. You got this plug here that's bent down. Only thing I would think happened there is it threw a rod and the rod smashed that plug. That plug right there looks horrible. And this plug right here has been smashed down to nothing, and all of the ceramic down in there is busted on that one too. Ceramic's busted on that one too. Let me put some light on this. The center tip's missing out of that one. Can't believe it. That's cylinder 5 with the best looking spark plug in the car. Let's go to cylinder 4. Well, this is shocking. Cylinder number 4 has good compression. Let's keep rolling, man. Let's keep rolling. See what's going on. And that side of the cylinder that's missing the electrode and every gosh dang thing. Compression in number 3. I'm shocked because spark plug is destroyed on this cylinder. It is wet. Had oil fall down in there. Looks like the piston came up and closed the spark plug. I don't even know how that's possible to happen. It makes no sense to me. How'd that happen? Something went in there and jammed the spark plug closed? Another miracle. I thought surely one of these rods were thrown and this would be a zero compression situation. But we got 190 wet compression. Let me check that last one. If the last one checks out good, I'm throwing some spark plugs in this thing, man. That last cylinder is low, but it ain't low enough to throw the engine in the trash. That could be just a wet, fueled, saturated one. I'm going to throw some plugs in here. I got some plugs in my toolbox. Use plugs, fire this thing up, see how it runs. Man, this thing with these spark plugs could only been running on 1 or 2 cylinders. It don't even make no sense. Now, I don't know when the last time these things were replaced, but I never seen nothing like this. I hadn't put these Bosch plugs in here, so they've been in there at least 2 years. I had some Volvo double platinum plugs here. One of them is damaged. I had in my toolbox. The ceramic is busted on it. So I checked a couple cylinder heads in there, and I had a double platinum Bosch plug in there. So I put the plugs in, torqued them down, threw the coil packs on. Let's start this thing and see if it runs right. Man, that's incredible. Here we go, folks. Let me latch this door latch. Fire this thing up, see if it runs. Prime the fuel. Well, got a little smoke up there from somewhere. Need some gas in this car. Seems like it's running. A lot of lights, but it's running. I'm gonna do the ETM next day or two. I'm gonna tell them it's fixed, let them drive around for a few days. Actually, let me take it for a test drive, see how it runs around the block, and go from there. So here's these plugs with some light on it. That was in number 5. This was in number 4. I have no idea where all the stuff is that goes in that plug. This plug was in number 3. Smashed down. How's that happen? This plug was in number 2. Looks almost normal. And this plug was number 1. I mean, soaking wet, smashed down to the tip. I don't know how this car was running like this. I was able to start it and let it idle. Test drove the car. It drove really good. So, man, I'm going to let these used plugs ride in this car for a couple weeks. And if those plugs are not damaged when I pull them out, I'm going to put some new plugs in this thing and do some more maintenance on it.